Okay, guys, well, welcome to our conference lesson for this evening. My name is Alistair. I'd like to welcome you all here for our business-related topic this evening. And of course, here we can screen the theme for today's lesson, which is English for Business Ethics, discussing corporate responsibility and integrity. Okay, well, we're going to have a look at this topic today. So let's get started without any other ado. So here is the agenda for today. Number 1, understanding corporate responsibility. Number 2, integrity in the workplace. Number 3, handling ethical dilemmas. And number 4, corporate image and reputation. Okay, well, welcome to the lesson, everybody. Okay, well, that's the agenda. So let's have a look at part 1. So our introduction. Business ethics is about doing what is right in the world of work. Companies today are expected to act responsibly towards people, the planet, and profits. So in this conference, we will explore corporate responsibility, integrity in the workplace, handling ethical dilemmas, and how ethics affect company reputation. Okay, so of course, the focus today is on the English language that is related to these topics. Okay, here we go. Number 1, understanding corporate responsibility. What corporate responsibility means? Well, corporate responsibility means that a company cares about doing the right thing. In both the UK and the USA, it means companies act responsibly for their employees, customers, and the environment. So that is a nice definition of what corporate responsibility actually means. Now, we are going to think of it in further context, UK and US context. So what corporate responsibility means in the UK. In the UK, corporate responsibility often overlaps with corporate social responsibility, or CSR. And companies routinely publish CSR reports to show how they help communities reduce carbon emissions and support ethical supply chains. So that's the UK context. Let's have a think about the US context. So what corporate responsibility means in the USA? In the USA, corporate responsibility is typically seen through ESG frameworks: environmental, social, and governance. And many companies focus on reducing environmental impact, fair labour practices, and transparent governance to build trust with investors and the public. Well, here we go. We've got some points here. Point 1, environmental responsibility. Companies must reduce harm, or their harm, to the environment, such as cutting carbon emissions or minimizing waste. So companies must reduce their harm to the environment. They have environmental responsibility. They also have, number 2, social responsibility. So companies should support fair and positive impacts on employees, communities, and societies. So companies have a social responsibility as well. We have a case study on the screen that Unilever, through its sustainable living plan, has committed to reducing its environmental footprint by using less plastic. There we are. So there's a case study. Let's have a look at another responsibility, which is number 3, financial responsibility. So companies must act ethically while generating profits, balancing shareholder interests with wider responsibilities. So companies have a financial responsibility and must act ethically whilst also generating profits and looking after their shareholders. They need to balance that interest with their wider responsibilities. Well, let's check out some vocabulary related to our lesson today. I'm going to read through the list on the screen. I'll read each word twice. Here we go. Sustainability. Sustainability. Stakeholders. Stakeholders. Accountability. Accountability. Fair trade. Fair trade. Community. Community. Profits. Profits. Okay. Well, let's have a look at some short case examples. So 4 key examples. Number 1, renewable energy adoption. A manufacturing plant invests in solar panels to power its operations, lowering energy costs and its carbon footprint. So that's renewable energy adoption. Number 2, ethical sourcing. A clothing company ensures fair wages and safe conditions for textile workers by auditing its supply chain. So, number 2, ethical sourcing. Let's have a look at number 3. Eco-friendly packaging. A food brand switches from plastic to compostable packaging, reducing landfill waste. So number 3, eco-friendly packaging. Number 4, charity partnerships. A tech company donates a portion of its revenue to a local educational NGO, helping schools while boosting its public image. So number 4, charity partnerships. Which brings us to part 2 on our agenda today, which is integrity in the workplace. So what does integrity mean in business? Number 1, integrity means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. So integrity means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Number 2, in both the UK and the USA, integrity is essential for maintaining professional reputation and credibility. So integrity means a lot in business. It has huge value. So what integrity means in business? In the UK, integrity in business often means following strict ethical codes and compliance with regulations like the Bribery Act, which requires transparency and honesty in corporate dealings. So we've got some integrity in UK context. Let's have a look at some US context. What integrity means in business in the USA. Integrity often combines compliance with laws and a strong corporate culture of accountability and transparent reporting. Excellent. Well, honest communication, keeping promises, and following company rules. So we've got some expressions here that help us with these aspects of integrity: honest communication, keeping promises, and following company rules. Here we go. Have a listen to our examples. I will keep you informed. You can count on me. I will deliver as promised. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I will follow the company guidelines. I will keep you informed. You can count on me. I will deliver as promised. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I will follow the company guidelines. Okay, great examples of some expressions that we can use in order to show integrity. Let's have a look at some more vocabulary related to the topic. I'll read each word twice. Trust. Okay, like the guy in the picture. Trust. Compliance. Compliance. Ethics. Ethics. Responsibility. Responsibility. Rule. Rule. Promise. Promise. Fairness. Fairness. Okay. Well, let's have a look now at ethical decisions. So we're going to look at choosing between an easy versus ethical decision. Okay, so we've got a situation. We've got two colleagues, Emma and Mark, and they discuss whether to report a small mistake that could be hidden. So Emma says, Mark, we accidentally overcharged the client by $50. We could keep the extra. Mark, but that would be dishonest. We should correct the invoice. Yes, it takes extra time, but our integrity matters more. Let's be transparent and send a corrected bill with an apology. Agreed. We'll fix it now and maintain our trust. Okay, so Emma and Mark have discussed a mistake whereby they've overcharged a client. The easy option would be to keep the money, but the ethical decision, well, it's more work. We have to rectify the invoice and send an apology. But in the long run, this will help maintain our trust. Okay, well, let's have a look at the next part. Let's keep going, guys. Here we go. Number 3, handling ethical dilemmas. Okay, handling ethical situations, ethical problems, ethical dilemmas. Handling ethical dilemmas. Well, what is it? An ethical dilemma is when you must choose between what's easy and what's right, what's correct. Number 1, at work, this might involve telling the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. Number 2, discussing these dilemmas helps create a culture of honesty and responsibility. Okay. And number 3, teaching learners to recognize and talk through ethical dilemmas prepares them for real world business situations. Okay. Well, let's continue with this theme. Here we go. So we've got some useful phrases for you related to handling ethical dilemmas. So I'll read through the list and then I'll read through it again, but here we go. I believe this is not fair because we should consider the long-term impact. The easy way isn't always the right way. Let's be honest about what happened. Can we find an ethical solution? Okay, well, have a listen. I'm going to read through those useful phrases a second time. I believe this is not fair because we should consider the long-term impact. The easy way isn't always the right way. Let's be honest about what happened. Can we find an ethical solution? Okay. Well, we've got another short conversation here. Okay, so it's called conversation practice, short example, plus 3 tips. So we're going to have a look at this conversation example, and then we've got some tips as well afterwards. So picture the scene. A team discovers a minor safety fault in a product ready to ship. That's the dilemma. Colleague A. There's a small fault, but only a few customers will notice. Colleague B. I believe this is not fair because it could harm someone. Colleague A. True. We should consider the long-term impact on our reputation. Colleague B. Let's pause the shipment, fix the issue, and inform the customer. Okay, so colleague A and B have come to the right decision, of course, the ethical decision in their dilemma. Well, let's check out those 3 tips. So 3 tips for learners. Okay, number 1, pause before deciding. Slow down and consider both outcomes carefully. Number 2, balance honesty and reason. So blend clear, truthful communication with sensible explanations. Number 3, focus on long-term trust. So emphasize decisions that build credibility over time. Very important. So pause before deciding, balance honesty and reason, focus on long-term trust. 3 tips. Well, let's get on with the last part of the lesson, which is corporate image and reputation. So, why ethics affect a company's reputation and success? Let's think about this. So, number 1, people trust and support companies that act ethically and responsibly. Yep, this is true. People trust and support companies that act ethically and responsibility. Okay. Number 2, ethical companies attract loyal customers, talented employees, and positive media attention. Yeah, this is true. So ethical companies attract loyal customers, talented employees, and positive media attention. And number 3, unethical behavior, like scandals, can damage reputation, damage sales, and damage internal morale. So yes, number 3, unethical behavior. This is damaging. Okay, true. Okay, well, let's see what else we have here. We have phrases to help with this. Okay, so have a listen. I'll read through these expressions, these phrases, then I'll come back and read through them a second time. A scandal can destroy customer confidence. Positive campaigns improve public image. Trust builds long-term loyalty. Good ethics attracts talent. Reputation is a valuable asset. Okay, so key phrases, they all ring true. Let's listen to them again. A scandal can destroy customer confidence. Positive campaigns improve public image. Trust builds long-term loyalty. Good ethics attracts talent. And reputation is a valuable asset. Well, let's go through a little bit more vocabulary. Here we go. Listen to these words. I'll read each one on the list twice for you. Brand image, credibility, public trust, scandal, loyalty, media coverage, corporate values. Okay, more useful topic-related vocabulary there. Well, we're going to think about a comparison of two companies now, and these are recent examples. Let's think about company A. The company are called Patagonia. Okay, it's a clothing and equipment company. Now, they have a good ethical image. Well, let's think about why. So, actions and image. Patagonia consistently promotes environmental activism, donating 1% of sales to environmental causes and encouraging customers to repair rather than replace products. Okay, they have an impact, or this action and image has an impact. This ethical stance increases customer loyalty. It garners positive media attention and aligns with its values-driven brand identity. And what is the result for Patagonia? Well, the result is strong public trust and a reputation as a leader in sustainable business practices. Okay, so this is a great example of a good ethical image. Okay, well done, Patagonia. Let's have a look at a second. Now, the second company is Samsung, and this actually refers to a scandal example. Not so good for Samsung. Let's have a look at the background. So, in 2025, this year, Samsung faced backlash over allegations of using child labour in its supply chain, triggering negative media coverage and legal scrutiny. Not good. So what impact did this have? Well, this scandal harmed its brand image, led to customer distrust, and required extensive damage control and reform in sourcing practices. Well, let's think about the result as well. So though recovery is, of course, possible, the incident highlights how ethical failures can tarnish even a powerful global brand. Okay, so two examples there, A and B, both recent. Okay, guys, well, we're coming towards the end of our lesson for today. Here is our conclusion. Have a listen to this before we finish today. So, strong ethics help companies build trust, loyalty, and long-term success. Wonderful. By acting with integrity and responsibility, businesses protect both their reputation and their future. Remember, good ethics are not just good values, they are also good business. Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for your attendance today. I can thank you, of course, on my behalf. It's great to have you here, and also on behalf of everyone here at Circles Along. We are grateful for your attendance. Wonderful. But that is it for today. So I will say goodbye. I will be back here on Monday at the same time. I hope you are able to join me then. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend.